was started about a year and a half ago. We had discussed the plans. In February, we had one of the biggest biking events, biking festival in Chennai. We received a very good welcome by all the bikers, the biking community, solo riders, biking brands. So that was a big success in February we did. After that, we wanted to take the journey forward. Audible? Yeah. So we have been putting different kinds of curated experiences for the motorcycle riders who are passionate about riding. That's one of the outcome is the WOW ride. It's called World on Wheels. The whole idea was to have international bikers come here, share their experience, give them also an exposure into what riding in India is all about.
This time he's coming with a big group of family members. I've been following him for quite some time because his rides are really crazy and extreme. To challenge the element of weather is something that you really need to have the guts and foresee how the preparations need to be done. So that's catalyst for you when he said, I'll be visiting India. Do you think we can ride on 2 wheels? I've never ridden in India, though I've been visiting here for quite some time. So he gave me the idea of getting a ride together. Declan, who just finished his ride, he's a guy who travels world in small parts. He does his travels 10 weeks a year and parks his bike in a place, goes back to that place during the next year, rides for 10 weeks, parks his bike in another place, goes back to work in Ireland, then again takes off 10 weeks, and that's how he's been traveling the world over the last 5 years. It's phenomenal. His planning skills and execution skills are simply mind-blowing. So he's been an inspiration for me in my planning, meticulous to the T. Having a plan A is what we all look at, but having a plan B and a plan C should everything go wrong. How do we roll it down our sleeve? That's where Declan comes in. And incidentally, this time when he said, I would love to visit India because we met on a godforsaken highway on the Pamir, which is part of the old Silk Route in Tajikistan. I mean, if you ask me now, what were the coordinates that we met him, I wouldn't be able to tell, and neither would he, because we are on the road to hell. That is the second highest international highway in the world. And in the middle of nowhere, we bump into him and we take off our helmets and he sees 3 Indians. And he'll tell his experience later, but that's where I parked an invitation to visit Incredible India, and probably that is one reason for, and when Carolis is also here, we three been planning rides over the last 2-3 years. So when the 3 of us got together, I reached out to the big Biking Commune guys and said, hey, you know what guys, we have a fantastic platform to put the world on wheels. This is a brilliant opportunity for us to connect with the community with experienced people like this visiting India. I'm not denying the fact that international riders don't come into India. There are so many people who come in, but how many of them actually get to interact with the community, share their experiences for something for us to take back home? These guys have been inspiration to me, so why shouldn't I give the community in India an experience to interact with these guys and take away some of the planning skills, the execution skills, and how we do it. A lot of people ask us, how do you do these things? Until we meet and talk, people will not understand how we do it. So that's one reason we put this ride together under the big Biking Commune aegis, and Royal Brothers, who's in Bangalore, supported us with the motorcycles. Then big Biking Commune is all about connecting with the community. We invited Veena Shetty from Bangalore and Mandeep from Mandy from Delhi. This gave a team a beautiful platform to do a ride covering almost close to 3,000 kilometers from Goa until Chennai via Kanyakumari. Declan asked me sometime, just
one weather, group of people. Normally I do alone, so completely opposite from my travels. And here we start. 5:30 in the morning, wake up, coffee 6 o'clock, after 2 hours breakfast, then Indian lunch, temple, and then at 6 o'clock, pitch dark. Normally I don't ride in the dark. And then 3 hours of the dark, directly to the exactly event like this, or community of bikers where we share our experiences. And this, on the end of the day, brought me to the very tough ride for me again. And I say, okay, this is exactly how I like. So thank you very much. debug and Biking Commune, I received from Indian ride what I could not even imagine.
Absolutely.
I could have it here. And just to put the cherry on the pie, I was in another event a couple hours ago and made a little bit of delay here. So someone was calling me, please, you are keeping people, and taxi came, a motorcycle. I have never ever been a passenger, and for the very first time in the very worst possible traffic, I was passenger now here. So yeah, many first times here in India, and really
Let me know if there is anything else between this evening and tomorrow morning. We'll take that as well.
Right, sunny, pleasant, and the backup team has worked a lot. Tarun and Madhu, I have to specially thank them for that. Be it our pit stops, food, and whatever, they've worked really hard on that. And Biking Commune, I thank you once again for this opportunity. Okay, myself, Veena Shetty, I'm from Bangalore, founder of Rolling Riders, a club with around 200 bikers in it, both ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I've traveled around India, I can say that proudly. I've done Leh Ladakh, Sachs, Spiti, Northeast, Rajasthan, all South, Golden Quadrilateral, that is all India in 9 days. So, and Bhutan as well. That's about me. Started riding 19 years ago, and I'm still riding. Thank you.
How from the beginning nobody knew each other, most, but and then afterwards here we are after 1 week, a little bit more of travel. We're like a big family. It's a big bond here, and there's trust and it's such a intimacy in a good way, in a family way, in between all of us. And it's very strange. I haven't experienced that kind of thing in any kind of situations, and I think, wow, that's just going around certain points in India, or it's biking, or what is the reason? This is, and everybody took their roles, had their roles in this journey, and it was very harmonious. For me personally, I had, I could say therapy in life, how people can interact with each other, how well they can go together and reach the same point that they want to reach. And it was just a beauty observing how they work together and how they do this incredible stuff and experience their something special in life. So I believe it wasn't just for me, and I think
in Chennai and tunneled through the center of the earth and came out the other side, where would you be? And this was always a very interesting question for me. From Ireland, I would end up being 1,000 kilometers off the South Island in New Zealand. And I can tell you right here in Chennai, and I looked it up today, you will need to be able to swim. I can tell you that for sure. So you will end up at maybe 600 or 700 kilometers off the islands of Galapagos, which is owned by Ecuador. So for me, I wanted to do an around the world journey that would take in two of these antipodes, two of these extreme opposite points. And as Deepak says, I did it in stages. I took 10 weeks, started out in Ireland, to Kyrgyzstan on the first stage, to Alaska on the second stage, to Costa Rica on the third stage, to Ushuaia and Buenos Aires on the fourth stage, and the fifth stage is yet to be done, which hopefully will take me from Cape Town in South Africa back to Ireland, and that will be around for me. And after that, I plan just to ride 10 kilometers in the countryside on a Sunday afternoon if it's not raining, and that's me.
India Spice Route Odyssey. இப்போ நாங்கள் என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம், என்னத்துக்கு இது பண்ணுறோன்னா அது வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். வெளிநாட்டுக்கு எல்லாம் நம்ம ஆளுங்க எல்லாம் வெளிநாட்டுக்கு போயிட்டு ரைட் பண்ணுறாங்க. இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் குளோபல் பீப்புள் இங்கே வந்துட்டு ரைட் பண்ணுறது நம்ம என்கரேஜ் பண்ணுறோம். இந்தியாவில் கூட ரைடிங் இருக்குன்னு. ஸோ குளோபல் ரைடர்ஸ் இங்கே வந்து நம்ம டூரிசம் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு இது ஒரு காரணம் இருக்குது இந்த ஸ்பைஸ் ரூட்காக. ஸோ இது மாதிரி பெரிய பெரிய ரைடர்ஸ் இங்கே வந்துட்டு பண்ணால் குளோபலி நம்ம இந்தியா கூட அண்ட் சவுத் ஸ்பெஷலி வி ஆர் டூயிங் லாட் ஆஃப் ஒர்க் ஆன் டூரிசம், அது கூட என்கரேஜ் ஆகும். So it's a very big swag. இப்போ சோஷியல் மீடியாலேருந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாம் குளோபல் ரைடர்ஸ் லாட் ஆஃப் பீப்புள் ஆர் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் திஸ் ரைட். எப்படி நீங்கள் இப்போ பார்த்துருப்பீங்க வாட் ரைட் திஸ் பீப்புள் ஆர் டாக்கிங் அபவுட். தேங்க்யூ.
வாட் நெக்ஸ்ட்?
what next is now a lot of global riders are in town. So how to next, how we need to give a new thing. There is a motor tourism summit which we are doing after this in Tamil Nadu.
motorcycle tourism summit பண்ண போறோம் புதுசா. உலகத்துல யாருமே இது பண்ணதில்லை.
உலகத்துல யாரும்
It is
பண்ணதில்லை.
about discussing motorcycle and tourism அதை ரெண்டையும் எப்படி கம்பைன் பண்ணி ஸோ அதை வந்து நாங்கள் கிளப் மெம்பர்ஸில் கூப்பிட்றோம். we are calling tourism boards, we are calling influencers எல்லாரும் உட்காந்து வச்சுட்டு இதை எப்படி பெருசுப்படுத்தலாம், இன்னும் விரிவுபடுத்தலாம், எப்படி மோட்டார் சைக்கிள் வந்து ஒரு டூரிசம் டூலாக யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் இந்தியாவில். இப்போ இன்க்ரெடிபிள் இந்தியா நிறைய